come up with an invention that makes clean water out of all this huge amounts of salt water that the world has. Water everywhere, not a drop to drink. So we've got all this water, but we can't use it. Now there's a lot of places around the world, whether it's India, Africa, China, everywhere, there's a shortage of water. And one of the reasons we went after water is because it is totally fundamental to human life.
Spray bars are holding, starting to make distillate. Cool.
Where we are right now is the RAIN project. This equipment, what it does, it turns seawater or any dirty water into fresh water.
One of the reasons why we got involved in the RAIN project is we saw a lot of lacking technologies in the market to generate what we call high quality water, which can be used for agriculture, drinking, and industrial applications. But more importantly, it does not require any operational support.
All right, start spinning other parts.
The reason we called it the RAIN project basically mimics nature. It heats water, you have water vapor, and then you take that moisture into a different compartment, and then you distill it. The steam or vapor turns into water. So it takes energy to heat the water, and then the energy is released when you turn it back to water. So we take that energy and recycle it back to heating the water again. This little bitty machine here can do 1,000 gallons an hour. Some of the great things about it compared to what the technology is today is, one, it has no parts that are consumables. No screens or no membranes that go bad. And it can be made to make distilled water or any level of clean water. Whereas current technology will only take seawater and turn it into drinking water, but it will not turn it into water that can be used for agriculture. It still has too much salt.
This was our prototype version from 6 months ago. We learned off this version, we added some new ideas and concepts, and we built to what we believe is our next version to go into the field for commercial use.
Billy came out of automotive, so everything is made with that discipline in mind, that you're going to build a plant, and then you're going to have pop hundreds of these out every day.
As we call it, we can cookie cutter it. So we can stamp out thousands upon thousands of them.
The world's requirements are staggering, so you need to be able to build thousands of these, instead of one plant that takes 15 years to build. We don't have the time for that.
We're able to take, seawater, undrinkable, unusable for anything, and turn it into complete drinking water, literally in a matter of minutes. And the beauty is, it's a very self-contained system. You don't need a lot of infrastructure to do it. If you move something in a modular basis, you need the hoses to hook up for the water, a couple of tanks to collect the water, and electricity to run it. So it's very easy and modular system to be able to put in anywhere in the world. And when you're done, you have lovely, fresh, clean water. It's warm enough to make tea right now, but good, fresh, ready to go.
Great. How is it?
It's good. It's good distilled water. This water right here is probably at a level almost to pharmaceutical grade water.
Wow.
And that's one of the other beauties, is we can raise or lower what the level we want to. But this is very, very, very pure water right now.
From fresh, clean water comes food, comes livelihood for farmers, comes health.
This is the first time exceptional drought has ever been declared in California. These before and after pictures show where water levels should be and where they are today.
Whether you're rich or poor, it doesn't matter. If you don't have water, you have to move or die. That's going to happen across the world. We have to work on water. There's no choice. So in California, right now they're not looking at it. Nobody wants to say it. But if you don't get water, if you don't solve this problem, California becomes a desert. Now we're looking at it and saying, instead of one big desalination piece of equipment, you have a farm of these. It can either be put on the shore next to the ocean, or you create this barge which has a lot of units on it. So a barge can maybe produce somewhere between 15 and 20 million gallons a day. Right? And why, the question would be, why on a barge? Well, the simple answer is that's where the water is. So let's say you put it a couple miles offshore, you have this barge which has a short height because the equipment is underneath. And the reason it's underneath is because the water will just flow into it. And so you don't have to pump water in. So it flows in, doesn't kill the wildlife. You can then pipe the fresh water either on floating pipes to the land, or you can put it in tankers and bring it to land. So we're thinking of things like if you had 100 or 200 barges, let's say off Southern California's coast, all the shortfall of Southern California would be covered. And the advantage of that is that if people at that point say, well, we don't like you being there, then you say, okay, see ya, we'll go to the next place. So the answers have to be lower in energy, then it needs to be able to be made in massive scale, and then it also has to go past political issues. All of those are real problems. And so this project, what it does is say, okay, with this, if you have thousands of barges throughout the world, we can address the needs of, ridiculous amounts of people. And in the end, we're going to have to do that in order to take care of the 7, 8, 9 billion people that are going to end up on Earth. So that's a project that's, for us, is a big deal. We have